Hey, what's going on, everybody? Uh, I'm back, kind of, sort of, but not really. It occurred to me that I never posted any video on my channel regarding why I've been missing, and what's going on and all that stuff. And I've gotten a couple of DMs regarding that, and never got around to putting it on my channel. So, uh, bottom line, I have cancer. But I got lucky. I got myself tested, caught it early, and I've been on chemo for a while now. I'm actually, as of today, I've gotten my very last chemo infusion, and then soon we'll be starting radiation with a pill form of chemo, and that's going to go on for like a month and a half or so. And then I'll have follow-up surgeries to remove a tumor and the affected colon that's around it, because it's colorectal cancer. Um, so I don't know how it's going to affect my channel. I'm kind of just out of habit of getting on here and playing. And I'm not a big channel or anything like that anyway, but there are some cool people who follow the channel and are subscribed and show concern. You know who you are. I just thought it was fair to like put that out there. Hopefully I'll do some games from here and there. But in the meantime, like, yeah, it's going to be few and far in between still, because I'm sick. And mostly what affects me is, like, if I'm playing a game, I get tired. My brain just starts to, like, I get very relaxed, and because I don't sleep well, which I'll explain why in a moment, I don't get enough sleep. So when I'm just like staring at the TV playing games, I I zone out completely. Next thing you know, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, or why is my character dead? So anyway, the complications and effects of what's been going on. And a big reason why I want to put this on my channel. I had a routine colonoscopy. They say you should get it now. I think it's like in your mid 30s. But the old thing used to be when you're 50 years old, you should get it done by then. So I've waited way longer than I should have. But fortunately for me, a routine colonoscopy found in very early stage 2 tumors in my colon and a polyp. The polyp was removed immediately during the colonoscopy. But those 2 tumors were problematic. Both were malignant, and but like I said, fortunately, it was early. The follow-up MRI and CAT scan and tests and stuff didn't travel anywhere else in my body. So I don't have anything else, no liver, kidneys, brain, lung, blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing else has any signs of cancer there, so that's great. But still have to deal with the tumors and stuff. And the reason why earlier I said I have to have a tumor removed is because I already had one removed. And not because that was in the plan. The original plan was chemo, radiation, because they had to shrink down the tumor that they didn't remove because it was too large for where it is, because it's surrounded with by muscle and bone and whatnot, so they need to get it down to safely remove it. But they had to remove the one tumor because it created a blockage in my colon, in my descending colon, and I can't even describe the pain, how much that sucked. You think you get constipation at first, and that's kind of how the doctors were saying to treat it, was, like it was just bad constipation, and it wasn't. That tumor was blocking anything from getting through, and my colon went from like about a nickel in diameter, and then it went about as big as my wrist. So yeah, I was blown up, and it was bad. So they had to have emergency surgery, cut through my muscle wall in my abdomen to get in there because of where that part of the colon was, and they had to remove that tumor and some of the colon that was surrounding it. They had to get rid of the lymph nodes that were connected to it, and part of where the blood supply leads away towards the lower part of your colon. And in doing that, I have to have a colostomy bag. And if you're young or you don't know what it is, it's basically a bag that they attach the colon to through your skin and literally into a bag. You have an open hole in your skin called a stoma, and that is basically your intestine pushing through your skin that you put this bag over, so you pretty much just crap directly into this bag. Not fun, not pleasant, but it is what it is. And then I've had to keep that for the rest of the duration, even though I was basically healed, but you had to have it put in there. I had to have it put in there because you cannot have feces passing through where you've got a wound that's healing. So, because that's just going to cause infections, and you don't want that. You don't want sepsis. So instead of having that colostomy reversed and then, which is another surgery to reattach it. But the thing is, you would also be reattaching it to where the other tumor is, which could just be defeating the whole purpose here, because you'd be feeding it, or it would have the same blood supply and could create another tumor. Not likely, but possible. So why take a chance? So they're waiting for me to go through the radiation, all that. When I'm done with that, they'll have another surgery. They'll reverse this colostomy. They'll remove the second tumor and the colon that's attached to that, and then they'll reconnect the plumbing. So from where I have the colostomy right now, they'll pull that part of the colon down and then attach it to the rectal area, and then I'll be able to poop normal, which will be awesome, but not yet. Because while that's healing, they have to open up another colostomy on the opposite side of my stomach, but it won't be so bad because it won't be an emergency surgery. It'll be planned, so it won't be as awful, and it won't be as long. It won't, because this started in where I had the blockage was like on July 4th. So I've had this bag since then. This second one wouldn't be nearly as long. Because they're not waiting to do another one. So just wait till this heals. And then as soon as that's healed, they'll reverse that. And then, fingers crossed, everything will work as it's supposed to physically, which is great. And like I said, I got very lucky because I had a test done early, caught it early. So I absolutely recommend to not mess around and take a risk that, I feel fine. I don't feel anything weird, so I don't have to have that done. Hey, listen, if you get to your mid-30s or into your 40s, get it done. Just go schedule a colonoscopy. You can even order through your doctor Cologuard, which is literally just, they send you a box home, you poop into a little container, and you send that in, and you don't even have to colonoscopy unless they find reason that you need to go get it done. Like if they see any kind of cells show up in the feces that are indicative of cancer cells, they're going to tell you go get a colonoscopy, get yourself looked at. But if everything's clean and everything comes out clear, then you won't have to. And to be honest, so one thing that does bother me is that my voice is a little jacked up, which is another reason why I can't stream. But the getting the colonoscopy is nothing. They're putting a camera into your rectum and doing some exploration in your colon and your large intestine, and the camera that's going in there has like the width of a wire coat hanger, and you're asleep. They knock you out. You take a really good nap. You wake up, and it doesn't feel like anything done. You don't feel anything, so you're just like looking around like, you guys, did you do anything at all? Because it's nothing. So, just go. It's painless. The worst part about it is the prep. You got to drink a lot of Miralax and Duralax laxatives mixed into Gatorade, and it was really just like, that's a lot in my stomach. You know what I mean? Like that was a lot to drink in a short period of time. So it's just like uncomfortable, but not like horrific pain. So, pardon me. It's nothing. Just go get it done. Better safe than sorry. You know what I mean? And if there is something going on and you can catch it early and you get lucky like I did, they can deal with it before it turns into something like in my father's case, who passed from lung cancer. He was riddled with tumors because he just ignored the fact that he was feeling sick and he looked terrible. And by the time he did anything about it and got looked at, he was already stage 4. So you don't want to be that guy. Like I said, I'm very lucky. The chemo form that I'm on, it's called Folfox. It's the same type of thing they give to elderly patients. So it's very mild. Personally, I haven't experienced nausea from it. I haven't experienced any aches and pains directly from it. I haven't lost hair. Nature did this to me. Just because I'm older. And I mean, I'm very fortunate, and I'm grateful for that. But that's not always the case for everybody. But again, if you catch it early, you'll probably be more in shape that I'm in, where you're getting through life pretty much as normal as you can. My main limitation is just because that blockage happened and they had to have the emergency surgery, and recovering from that was fucking long. It sucked. But beyond that, I'm slowly getting back into my routine. I'm still having band practice. I'm still carrying on. We played a few shows, but we're holding off until I'm completely done, and then working on a second album. So I mean, things are going as well as you could possibly expect them to. Unfortunately, my previous band, I'm Done, my bass player Anthony passed away recently from a incredibly aggressive prostate cancer. And here's the common thing between me and Anthony in terms of cancer. Didn't really feel any signs. Didn't notice anything was wrong. With Anthony, he was only 43 when he died. I think he was 41 or early 42 when he was diagnosed with it. And he just noticed he was getting up in the middle of the night and having to pee a lot, which is abnormal. He was very, very high on taking care of himself. He was in great shape. He was a mountain biker. He jogged. Like, the dude was in great shape, and this happens to him. And of course, the nicest guy on the planet. So it's a horrible thing. It's always like, it's like they say, it's, only the good die young, but it came back. He went into remission, which was a miracle in itself, but then it came back and he didn't get through it. For me, no signs. The only signs I could have possibly seen was that I was having like chronic diarrhea, but I'm also on blood sugar medication, which creates chronic diarrhea. So I thought it was just the metformin that I was taking. No aches and pains, no sharp pain, no signs at all. No blood in the stool, no anything. So if I didn't get that screening through the colonoscopy, who knows how long it would have been cooking in there until the point that it was going to be a problem and I was going to feel signs. So with that, I urge you even stronger. Don't avoid doing a screening and getting tested just because you're not feeling bad. Doesn't mean there's nothing going on, because this can still be festering, or anywhere in your body. Just go get yourself looked at. Those of you who are not Americans and are fortunate enough to be living with free health care, you got no excuse. Go get it done. But even if you're here in the USA and you don't have, or another country that doesn't have universal health care, they can't refuse you from getting tested. There are methods to be able to afford to go get it done. So get it done. Take care of yourselves, okay? So with that, I'm going to end this video. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think it was pretty important to talk about. If you feel like sharing this to other people who may be going through the same thing, or someone that you're trying to encourage to go get checked out, by all means, please share it. So, plans going forward with the channel. Like I said, I'm going to do what I can do when I can do it. I've played a few games in the meantime. I'm currently playing Ghost of Yotei, which is awesome. So there'll be gaming stuff coming up eventually. But again, like, even in the 15 minutes, my voice starts to break down. It's because you're when you're going through chemo, you're immunodeficient. You are immunodeficient, so your immune system gets beat up a little bit, and you don't heal as fast. So even if you get like a scrape or something like that, it'll take longer for that to completely heal and go away than normal. So the same thing as you're talking, you ravage your voice a little bit more, which is a big reason why like we're not doing a lot of shows. We do practice once a week or once every 2 weeks, so it's not really hurting me too bad. But I definitely feel it when we're done with practice. I'm like, ugh. Like usually I'm not hoarse or anything like that, but now it's like it definitely affects me. So but anyway, that's it. We're past the 15-minute mark. There's no reason to go longer than that. So I'm going to end it here. But I hope everybody else out there is staying safe and staying healthy, taking care of themselves and take care of each other. Encourage other people to take care of themselves and their loved ones as well. So in these turbulent times, we can only help each other. So let's help each other, not hurt each other. All right. So until the next one, whenever that is, peace.